friends. Welcome to NC Family's weekly update for the week ending Friday, October 25th, which we're at the end of October, so that means we're ever near close to the election, Jerry.
Exactly.
And also, we did have to go back to the General Assembly. They did hold a special meeting this week. So let's tell the folks what we did down there this week.
I mean, they weren't expecting to be back at this point because of the election coming up so soon. But thankfully, you know, they are working through the hard decisions about what needs to be done to help with the hurricane relief, with the disaster assistance. And they're taking some big steps. I mean, you may remember 2 weeks ago, they appropriated $273 million. Today, this week, they voted to allocate $604 million. So that's a total of $877 million. It's close to $1 billion that have been appropriated to help. Now, granted, we're hearing the needs are billions and billions of dollars in Western North Carolina, but this is what the state is being very proactive, and praise God, they know that they need to do it even though it's the middle of election season. This needs to be done as quickly as possible. It's going to be years to work on, but you don't wait. The more they can do. And the other part of the picture that I keep hearing, which is a good thing, how government can help. In this case, the state addressing seeds. In a federal level, FEMA, what little I understand, because we are not directly involved with this issue, but we are hearing, of course, the discussion about it. It's 90% match on a federal level. So it's great that the state is stepping forward and that progress is being made. The greatest thing we're hearing, continuing to hear, in addition to what the government's doing, is what individuals are doing.
Absolutely.
Here in Western North Carolina, throughout our state, other states, people coming, people working together. And what I love hearing the most is people recognizing all the good that's being done. There's no explanation other than God is working in and through people in an incredible way.
Yes, yeah. So they did allocate a lot of money, but one of the things we did here too is that this is a small step, because we heard there was billions and billions of dollars in damage, and we're getting close to $1 billion here. So their goal right now is to meet the needs of the people today, what they need on the ground today. And so they do anticipate coming back and voting on more funds. And in addition, Speaker Moore actually said, he announced on the floor today that in caucus they had talked about the fact that this will be something that they will be working on into the next biennium. So after the election, when they come back into session in 2025, this will be one of their primary items. So it's important, I guess, to remember that, you know, and we said it before, it's going to be a very long recovery. We ask that everyone continue to pray and just, you know, we know that God will provide, and it's exciting to watch him work.
It is. And praying, as you say, Sharon, for the wisdom for our legislators. Thankfully, God gave them the wisdom to set aside money for disaster relief in a significant amount, but it's not an unlimited amount. So they have to have wisdom about when and how to make these appropriations. So this is great leadership. We see that God's working in the legislative process here in North Carolina. Another thing they addressed today was the reality of what's happening with elections in the western part of the state, and that was another provision that was passed today, trying to address some of the realities of what do we do to make it easier for people to vote in these areas that have been devastated.
Yeah, I mean, we heard from a legislator that lives out that way that she had to wait in line just for a parking space at her local voting site for 40 minutes and then get in line and wait a couple hours to actually cast her ballot. And part of the concern is, one, you know, can these people even make it to that site? And do they have, you know, the time to, you know, we all want to vote, and we all know it's a God-given right to us in America to be able to do that. But they're also, you know, fighting for water and power and food and clothing. And so they wanted to open up a couple more centers. It sounded like maybe 3 more in the West, and give people an opportunity to get to their site and cast their ballot.
Yeah. And that one region, apparently, just for 90,000 people, I think there was one early voting site that was open. So they're on many levels, they're trying to address these overwhelming needs that are there. But again, it's wonderful to see and hear about how God is working in the midst of those challenges.
Right.
And I know we're talking about voting. Our voter guides, we still, of course, we have our own online version of that that's available, but we also have paper copies. We would love for all of you to help with the distribution of those.
Yep.
I know we've shared this message many times, but part of what we understand is part of loving our neighbor, wanting God's best for our neighbor, what's best for people's lives is being an informed voter. And that's why we continue to produce this voter guide.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have copies available. We're going to be taking orders on into next week so we can still get them to you in time for those who haven't voted yet. Because I know there's still a lot of people who vote on election day or a little bit closer.
Yeah. So
we thank you for your help with making those available. And if you think of other ways, I may have shared this story here. I want to jump in just about, this is Western North Carolina. One of the person who's helped with voter guide distribution before called and they said God had really put it on their heart to help again this year. They live in Western North Carolina. And you're thinking, I know I heard the other day, I don't know, over 400 roads or something out with problems. This person's going, I think I'm supposed to order them again from y'all, and I'm just going to go out and try to distribute them to different churches in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So any way that you can help with that effort, we would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No, just especially for people out there. I think I heard today 2,000 homes are still without power in one district. I mean, that's a lot of people who can't get online to look stuff up.
Right.
So in that instance, the voter guides are really very helpful.
Right.
And certainly you could give them out to your church or any community groups you have, whatever. Just let us know. We'd be happy to ship them out to you, and they are free of charge.
All right.
Yeah.
So again, thank you all for your help, for your prayers, and let's all continue to pray about the upcoming election and again about the decision that lawmakers are making now and how to best help people here in North Carolina and I know in other areas of our country that have been affected by these hurricanes, these storms.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate all your partnering with us and vote and praying for us. And please know that we're here as a resource for you if you need it.
Lord bless you.
Have a great week.